In the headlines, troops of the multinational joint task force eliminate no fewer than 100 Boko Haram and Islamic State of West Africa province terrorists. Christians celebrate Easter with calls for peace and unity. Muslim women in Edo speak against the menace of domestic violence. Away from Nigeria, residents face agonizing wait for news of missing loved ones after floods devastate South Africa's KwaZulu-Natal province. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for joining. Beginning with security issues, troops of the multinational joint task force have eliminated no fewer than 100 Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists, including 10 key commanders in the Lake Chad region. Chief of Military Public Information for Multinational Joint Task Force, Colonel Muhammad Dole, in a statement on Sunday, said the forces successfully hit the enclaves with a well-coordinated land and air offensives. Dole said that the offensives were conducted under Operation Lake Sanity, joint operations involving the Multinational Joint Task Force, troops from Nigeria, Niger and Cameroon, and troops from the Operation Hatinkai. Dole said that the troops raided the insurgents' dens in Zanari, Arena Woje, which served as a major fabrication workshops, and several other locations around the islands from different corridors in the last week. According to him, the terrorists were neutralized following intelligence-driven lethal airstrikes in the Lake Chad Islands by the Combined Air Task Force. Meanwhile, Theater Commander of the Operation Hatinkai, Major General Christopher Musa, has said that its major challenge in the fight against insurgency in the northeast is tracking the funding of ISWAP and Boko Haram group from the international community. General Musa stressed that the situation is worsened by the movement of small arms from neighboring countries, with some locals providing support for terrorists. He added that the civilians can help identify spies in their communities, explaining that it will help in curtailing terrorist operations.
ISWAP is getting their funding from foreign countries. Let us track and be able to deny them that ability. Their commanders are coming in because we cannot control the international borders. So they are getting reinforcement, getting logistics, getting this. If we can track where those things and block them, because to some extent we'll be able to achieve that within, to stop them getting logistics from within. But they get it from outside, which is beyond us. Again, another challenge is some locals that still want to trade with the terrorists. They give them fuel, carry food, give them, provide. We have banned the urea from being brought to the northeast. They sneak this and give them, and those are things they use to do their own IEDs. So we're calling on them, and all of those ones that are being paid to spy on the troops, going to tell them what is the strength, the informants and all those things. So it's for them to desist. The terrorists are just trading with you. It will be your turn very soon.
Rural-urban drift is presently at its highest rate in Nigeria as a result of several economic factors compounded by the security challenges bedeviling the country. Hamisu and Pete moved to Abuja in search of a better life for themselves and their families, but the journey has not been the same for them. While one aspires to be president, the other is content with menial jobs to make ends meet. Haysmore.
This is Utako Village, a rural community in the heart of Abuja. Due to disparity in development, people who usually live in congested slums as this lack proper hygiene, live in overcrowded spaces, and are victims to illiteracy, unemployment, and the vagaries of crime. Despite these challenges, it is not unusual to find dreamers in places like this. The security situation in Katsina State forced Hamisu to move to Abuja in search of a better life. He is a laundryman and sells water in jerrycans to fend for his daily needs.
Nazo kuma ni matsayina na can kauye I
moved to Abuja to earn a living. In my village, bandits used to attack us and destroy our houses almost every day. There was no peace of mind. We were all living in fear and agony. We could hardly sleep in our houses because of the attacks. We couldn't farm anymore, even though farming was our only hope to feed ourselves. We were really suffering. That's why we decided to change location and move over here to earn a living.
Just like others, he pays 50,000 naira per year for this small room just to keep a roof over his head. He hopes to keep making money from his humble business to take care of his family.
Moving here, I have peace of mind. I have a place where I can rest my head. Even though there are still some people that sleep on the streets here, I struggle to earn money and send to my family and also rent a shop where I run my business now.
On the other hand, Pitt migrated from the West in search for political connections and to fulfill his dream as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
I have a dream about the future of this country, to vie for a position of the President of this country. And because what I see thus far is that the way this country, we can lead this country out of insecurity, out of economy destabilization, and a lot of problems is just the youth, not with this our old faces, not with these old people, the same faces we ever know. So I see myself coming in to make a good difference, make a huge difference in Nigeria in terms of leadership and in terms of politics in this generation.
Christian faithfuls in Abuja join others world over in celebrating Easter Sunday. Trust TV's Kabir Lawal went round Abuja metropolis to have a feel of the celebration vis-a-vis the present-day economic realities. The report.
This Easter is different. Not many of the Christian faithful have left their homes for the city center. But then there are some people in Abuja and its environs that have moved around town to visit relatives and well-wishers. Mr. Sam and Mrs. Okoli believe the low turnout of people within the city is because of the hike in prices of commodities, among other economic dislocations. Indeed, the rise in prices of commodities have given this year's Easter a different look from previous years.
Go for today, which is the day we are celebrating our Christ, Jesus Christ, that he came to this world and died for us. So we thank God for today. On our own level, we are celebrating in a low key. Why some people are, you understand what I'm saying? So we should put our hope in God and trust in God.
But the lessons of Easter go beyond the celebration. It is seen as a season for sober reflection and forgiveness. This is because of the Christian belief that Jesus Christ rose from the dead on this day, and the day represents Christ's victory over death.
It's a time of celebration because Jesus Christ died on the Calvary for our sin. So it's time that we celebrate each other, we show each other love, we forgive each other all the anything that we want against each other. Things are hard, as in things are very, very hard. No money, everywhere is just dry. At least last year is still better because you can still afford food, chicken to eat, but this year,
Nigerians have been urged to unite against discrimination, fighting, and other ills to end the current security and economic challenges in the country. Bishop of the Anglican Diocese of Gusau, Bishop John Mbinta, made the call during the celebration of Easter Sunday in Gusau, the Zamfara state capital. The report.
To accept the gospel. The gospel is the power of God. The gospel is the salvation.
Nigeria is currently facing a myriad of security and economic challenges that have become issues of concern to meaningful Nigerians. The insecurity is caused by banditry, kidnapping, killings, attacks of communities and Boko Haram terrorists unleashing terror on innocent citizens in many parts of the country. Bishop of the Anglican Diocese of Gusau, Bishop John Dambinta, believed that if Christians and Muslims come together to confront insecurity, the outcome will be better and more effective than any weapon. He emphasized the need for leaders and the need to stop expecting solutions from foreigners for Nigerians' problem, as according to him, Nigerians' issues have Nigerian solutions.
The fact that Jesus Christ has risen. Christianity, if Jesus was not raised from the dead, Christianity could have been a collapsed religion. Because there were many things people were saying when Jesus was in the world. When Jesus said, when the scripture says that Jesus was going to be crucified, died, and after 3 days, raised to life.
He challenged Nigerians to accept their diversity and differences the way God made it and urged them to practice the teaching of their religion in a manner that accommodates others. The cleric observed that if Nigerians are not willing to unify to fight their battles, they should forget it.
The time has come for us to unite, to be one, because we should not expect anybody to come from any other country to come and bring peace and bring unity in our country. We are the problem of ourselves because we don't know God. And when you go to everywhere, you see Christians, you see Muslims. In the government, you see Christians, you see Muslims. I don't know what they are doing. I don't know the kind of religion they believe. I don't know the kind of religion they practice. The two religions are the religion of peace.
Bishop John Mbinta said the significance of Easter celebration to Christians is that Jesus Christ resurrected to give mankind hope, joy, and peace, noting that if people accept and believe in him, they can overcome whatever challenges they are facing.
Muslims in Edo State over the weekend converged at the Benin Central Mosque for the Ramadan Lecture put together by the state chapter of the Federation of Muslim Women's Association in Nigeria. Trust TV correspondent in Benin City, Nafisa Bello, reports that the menace of domestic violence and possible solutions is stressed.
The Ramadan Lecture, which held at the Central Mosque Benin City, the Edo State capital, had in attendance Muslims from all walks of life who took time out to reap from the blessings of the holy month. As the resource person spoke extensively on reconciliation in Islam and dealing with a declining marriage and ways of increasing happiness in marriages.
We have cases whereby the women torment their husbands, that the husband will not love to come home because of the problem the wife gives to him. He would rather stay away. Why you see some men, they go to beer parlor, they stay till 11 before they come home, is because if they come home, the problem the woman will heap on his head, it will be too much for him to bear. So he would rather go somewhere and relax.
It's our nature to disagree sometimes. We belong to different tribes, we have different nature, so we must disagree sometimes. But as Muslims, in Islam, you must reconcile. In fact, Prophet said, make it not pass 3 days. No matter how the thing pay you, make it not pass 3 days.
On why the choice of topics, the Edo State Amira of the Federation of Muslim Women's Association in Nigeria, FOBUN, Hajia Rabi Abiri and Hajia Umeima Momo said the topics were selected based on the increase in cases of domestic violence in the society, adding that it is high time women speak up and speak out.
The topics were sent from the national, that we should pick the one we know that is more crucial in our area. That is the area, our circumstances, the way they are behaving in our area, and what is happening in our area. So each state should choose the one that that will go well with the community and what is happening in the country.
Religion teaches us to obey, to be reserved. And so even when they are going through so much, they keep quiet. But we are saying today that keeping quiet might not be the solution. You might be going through so much violence in your home. The husband beating you, abusing you, both whether physically, verbally, emotionally, and then you keep quiet. A time will come, if it does not affect your mental well-being, then of course it could just kill you. The case of Otinachi is there for everybody to hear. Nobody knew she was going through that until she died. So we are urging women, if no matter what you are going through in your husband's home, if any form of abuse, speak out.
The Ramadan Lecture is an annual event put together by the Edo State chapter of the Federation of Muslim Women's Associations in Nigeria, Form 1. Nafisa Bello, Trust TV News, Benin.
Security and intelligence experts have been reacting to complaints from subnational governments that Nigeria's federal structure is dominated by the central government, particularly in the operation of the nation's security architecture. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman looks at the divergent opinions on the issue in the face of escalating insecurity in the country. The report.
The blame game is real. State governors are constantly blaming the centralized structure of security for the erosion of law and order in their domains. Sani Aliu is a security and intelligence expert. He identifies an existing gap in Nigeria's current security architecture. This gap, he says, plays a significant role in the current effort to deal with contemporary security challenges.
We are having terrorism, act of banditry, and the army's purview as contained in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is to protect the territorial integrity of Nigeria. And the police purview as contained in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is to maintain internal peace and order. There is no one single agency in Nigeria that is charged with the responsibility of countering terrorism.
Jibrin Ndache, a defense editor with one of Nigeria's national dailies, is of the opinion that defeating the non-state actors terrorizing the country requires a collaborative effort.
Americans don't lament. Developed country and other country, when these things happen, there's no blame game. They approach the situation and then they bring everybody on board. Like he said, that led to the establishment of the Homeland Security. But above all, they were thinking differently. They are think tanks, you know, who say, okay, who are thinking of the threats in the next 20 years.
To effectively tackle the multifaceted security challenges undermining the nation, Sani Aliu suggests a review of the existing security structure by empowering and equipping civil authorities and other internal security outfits to handle emerging threats.
We have a country of over 200 million people sitting on 923 square kilometers with less than 1 million security population. This is sad. Absolutely, we are not serious, and we are not ready to fight this insecurity that is in the country.
Ndache is however of the view that with adequate intelligence information, enhanced welfare of fighting forces, and strong political will, Nigeria will overcome the current situation plaguing the nation. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break. Electric cars make brisk business in Maiduguri. Details and more coming shortly. Thanks for staying. Here is a look at the top stories again. Troops of the multinational Joint Task Force has eliminated no fewer than 100 Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorists. Christians celebrate Easter with calls for peace and unity. Now to political stories. Senator Kabiru Marafa on Sunday denied dumping the All Progressives Congress for the People's Democratic Party. He stated this while debunking reports that he and a former governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari, have finally defected to the PDP. Marafa noted that they are into negotiations with many political parties that have invited them to join in the state. He stressed that considering the injustice meted out to the people of Zamfara by the former APC national leadership, several parties approached the former governor's faction. Now, over 463 houses in 3 local government areas in Cross River State have been destroyed by windstorm, and out of the 1,326 households worst affected by the effects of the windstorm. According to reports, the affected local government areas are Obudu, Yala, and Ogoja. Zonal Coordinator of the National Emergency Management Agency, South, Godwin Tepiko, said that his team conducted assessment tour following a Save Our Soul report from the chairman of Obudu Council Area, Boniface Eraye, after the windstorm incident on April 12, 2022. In Obudu local government area, the team visited the affected communities of Beobone, Abonki, Beobong, Igwo, and Ikorotum. Tepiko said that the windstorm that occurred in Ogoja local government area on April 5, 2022 affected Ishibori, Okele, Ogboje, and Agbakpa communities. According to him, 337 households were affected by the disaster, while several houses and property were destroyed, including economic trees. Now, besides emitting less dangerous gas to the environment, electric cars also come with reduced cost of transportation. While the country struggles with scarcity and increment of fuel prices, which has impacted on transport fares, residents of Maiduguri, the capital city of Borno, are enjoying electric car transportation. An electric car fabricator is making brisk business from his local talent, even as residents cash in on his reduced fares. The report.
Public transportation is one of the key sectors driving the economy of a country. It increases economic productivity and growth. The fuel scarcity and the continuous upward review of the pump price have hiked transport fares and affected commercial activities. However, the production of electric vehicles fabricated by a school dropout in the state, besides making bricks profit, is also making commuting easier for residents, as they can now do so at a much lower price.
It has a capacity of 64 kilowatts, and it can charge 5 cars at a time within a space of 30 to 35 minutes, depending on the intensity of the sunlight. The challenge is that, we have built only one charging station here. So when we charge the car moves from point A to B. So when the charge is exhausted, the car must come to point A to charge. We need support from government, we need support from philanthropists, we need support from investors to increase our capacity to do more.
Mohammed Lawan is one of the commercial drivers of the E-Ride Transportation Company in Maiduguri. He says he enjoys his job without experiencing the usual long queues at fuel dispensing stations. The buses collect 50 naira per drop instead of the 100 naira charged by regular public transport operators.
I'm expecting that when we have this particular scarcity a lot in the states, so much jobless can reduce. I can make a 5,000, 6,000 per day because of the passengers are patronizing the car so much. Why people are using other vehicles that are using petroleums, the place that they used to take them for like 17 naira, we used to take them 15 naira. And I just some places that we used to take them 13 naira.
Actually, these electric vehicles are, I can say that it is development to our society, because they are not like the other fossil fuel vehicles. This is the cost of their transportation is cheaper than the normal vehicle in town.
Like if I'm to board for KK now from here to Kasua, it's almost like 70 naira to 100 naira. But for these buses, I have to pay for just 50 naira. That will take me to the same destination. I'm calling on to federal government to please put more effort in such kind of businesses that are coming up, because this is going to help our economic growth.
With the unstable price of fuel in the country, electric vehicles could be an option for Nigeria to end the recurring fuel crisis that is affecting the economy.
Young graduates in Katsina are involved in the business of selling ice block as a way of creating jobs and generating wealth. Ice block has a huge market during the Ramadan fast because of the increased demand brought about by the rising temperature and the attendant heat. This newfound business comes with the challenges of epileptic power supply and price of diesel. Jamil Mabai takes a look at how a young graduate from Umaru Musa Yaradua started a successful business of selling iced block in Katsina amid challenges of power supply and diesel price.
Ice block, a scarce commodity in Katsina. In fact, its demand has increased during Ramadan fasting. Muhammad Rabiu, a university graduate, had a dream of owning a business. Today, he ran a business of ice block with workers under his payroll. You first need a space to keep your cold rooms with enough ventilation. After that, you need such a water supplier that will be supplying the water for you than to go looking for where to buy. With the temperature rise to about 44 degrees, the demand for ice block and cold water has increased drastically. Muhammad saw the demand and capitalized on the opportunity. Because of the hardship in looking for water ice block, and to see how we can enhance the business to make it easier for customers. With a booming business comes challenges of epileptic power supply. We started selling the water at 20 naira to 30 to 40 naira. This is
Now, away from Nigeria, at least 443 people have died in floods that have devastated South Africa's KwaZulu-Natal province, according to an official, as rescuers searched for dozens of people still missing in southeastern coastal region. The province's premier, Sihile Zikalala, said on Sunday that the deaths include 2 emergency workers and added that a further 63 people remain unaccounted for. The floodwaters are the strongest to have struck KwaZulu-Natal in recent memory and were triggered by torrential rains that lashed the province last week. And it's a wrap on Trust News Update, but you can connect with us via our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch more. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.